Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
Worst insect invasions ever. Bug swarms and bug invasions are among the most dreadful experiences someone can go through. Imagine ample insects flying or crawling at you, swarming, stinging, biting, and most of all, dying and leaving putrid remains. Even talking about them gives people goosebumps, and these scary insects are incredibly common everywhere within the world throughout history. History is littered with tales of insect swarms, hordes of locusts, flies, mosquitoes, and bees, making life hellish for anyone in their path. But with temperature change resulting in warmer winters, the natural cold snaps that obviate huge numbers of bugs are becoming milder. This suggests more bugs are surviving to turn, and these bug swarms are unleashed on the planet. Combine this with invasive species being introduced into places where they need no natural predator, and you've got the right conditions for the worst invasions you probably have never heard of. Number 10. A swarm of mosquitoes is bothering workers at a brand new New York airport. Planes aren't the sole thing flying into LaGuardia Airport in the Big Apple. There's a huge mosquito problem at the airport, and it's driving the workers there wild. In 2016, the airport started a $1 billion facelift, and once construction started, workers said the mosquitoes started causing major issues. It's very annoying, one worker was recorded saying. I bet he was just being nice. Mosquitoes are a downright nuisance. When the mosquito issue was raised, LaGuardia Gateway Partners took additional steps including fumigating key terminal areas, installing industrial electronic bug zappers in several back-of-the-house locations, power washing and deep cleaning the platform area, and eliminating standing water in areas within the terminal. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9. Spiders spin a line of doom around Memphis. In November 2015, large swaths of a district in Memphis, Tennessee, were covered by a substance that appeared like frost, or even morning dew, but was actually spreading spider webs as big as 880 yards long. Experts seemed fine with the dispersal of millions of little spiders within the area simply being a case of nature doing its thing. Despite their sudden appearance within the neighborhood, experts say the spider's presence should not be much of concern. Memphis Zoo curator Steve Reichling says these webs weren't necessarily a nasty thing in the least. It's a mass dispersal of the immeasurable tiny spiders that have always been in this field, unnoticed till now. It may be juveniles, millions, in an exceedingly big emergence event, or adults of a small species, possibly a sheet-web spider, leaving for a few reasons possibly knowable to only them. In fields and meadows, there are often literally numerous spiders doing their thing, unseen and unappreciated by us. I was never aware that there were places in the world where such things were possible. The presence of those spiders there tells us that everyone is well with nature at that location. Residents, however, were anything but exhilarated. Number 8. Burning Man mystery bugs just want to hear some music too, you guys. The 2015 edition of the California Desert Festival Burning Man featured something else besides peace, love, and bud: huge swarms of bugs. Festival goers took to social media to point out infestations of mystery insects that were biting people, emitting a stink, and causing serious sanitation problems. Insect experts identified several sorts of seed bugs searching for water, and said that the welts that were caused weren't from bites, but from the contents of their stomachs, flavorer plants that corrode skin. So basically, the culprits were bugs that bite, which stink. In line with these, the massive green bugs you see above are probably stinking bugs within the family Penetomidae. These bugs are quite common within the US and emit a powerful odor when disturbed. Some people claim they smell like coriander. These insects are also drawn to light, which isn't exactly good news for a festival that's famous for its brilliant light displays. Number 7. Albuquerque grasshopper swarm is so bad, it is often seen on radio detection and ranging. One unforeseen side effect of global climate change is a rise in horrible bug infestations. So when Albuquerque was hit hard by a series of hot that didn't obviate grasshopper eggs, the result was a cloud of insects so dense it had been visible on radar and sounded like rain. It absolutely was the worst outbreak in 20 years within the land of Enchantment Town. The worst grasshopper infestation in 20 years had become so thick around Albuquerque, New Mexico, that the airborne bugs were brought to light on radio location. Albuquerque hadn't seen these levels of grasshoppers since the early to mid-1990s. The National Weather Service said the air is so dense with the bugs that they seem to be like rain on radar. It had become such a nuisance since they'd fly into people's faces while walking, running, and biking. They were also hopping into people's homes and garages. They'd splatter the windshields and car grill while driving, and they were eating people's plants. Is your skin crawling yet? Number 6. Raspberry crazy ants eat Houston alive. Houston exterminator Tom Raspberry is credited with discovering a horrifically destructive ant able to eat basically anything. The 3mm long bugs, so named for his or her erratic movements, probably came to the Southwest from South America within the 30s, and within the past few years have cut a swath of chewy destruction through Houston, eating wiring, laptops, water pumps, and electrical systems. They're now in over 24 states. The hairy, reddish-brown ant is known after Tom Raspberry as the raspberry ant, because he was the primary one to identify the insect in Houston itself in a suburb in 2002. The ant is also referred to as the tawny crazy ant, and is even known to fight the fierce stinging ant, another Texas scourge. Dormant until late April, raspberry crazy ants thrive as the temperatures heat up. Number 5. Terrifying Asian giant hornets killed dozens in China. Found mostly in China and Japan, and inching its way across Europe, the Asian hornet can mature to 1.5 inches long, can fly up to 25 miles per hour, and can canopy up to 60 miles in at some point. Oh, and they have stings that dissolve flesh and clean up kidneys, and leave welts the dimensions of bullet wounds. One Vespa crabrow outbreak in China in 2013 killed 42 people and injured 1,675 people in 3 cities. Among those attacked, it's estimated that several dozen people in Japan pass every year from Vespa crabrow stings. Over the summer and early fall, hornets have invaded schools filled with children and descended upon unsuspecting farm workers in China. The influx of venom to the body can cause allergies and multiple organ failure, resulting in death. Patients like Mu are receiving dialysis to get rid of the toxins from their bodies. In photos, patients bore deep, dark craters scattered across their limbs, the dimensions of bullet wounds. Number 4. Oklahoma cricket swarm is stuff of biblical proportions. In summer 2013, large parts of Oklahoma were infested by a big cricket swarm, leaving shocked residents to handle piles of rotting, stinky cricket remains. Like many other bug outbreaks, the culprit was the drought, which created a hot and dry environment perfect for incubating huge numbers of the bugs, which were then nurtured by larger than normal rains in late spring. The stench of billions of dead crickets was said to be nauseating. The dramatic spike within the cricket population was likely caused by the proper combination of weather, like the aforementioned heat and drought. These ideal conditions meant more baby crickets survived to adulthood, leading to an absolute explosion in population. Typically, invasions seem to occur after periods of prolonged dry weather in spring and early summer, followed by excessive rainfall in July and August. Number 3. Cicada Invasion brought billions of noisy bugs, sort of a plague. Every 13 to 17 years, the US geographic region and Midwest are swarmed by a big infestation of billions of cicadas. Ear-splittingly loud bugs that gestate underground and emerge to mate in local trees. Since different broods spend different lengths of time in numerous parts of the planet, the likelihood is pretty good that there is an invasion occurring somewhere annually. Check the Cicada Central Magicicada database to determine the counties where cicadas have appeared in the past. Ask someone who lived there 17 or 13 years before. Old-timers. Hint, old-timers usually call them locusts. Check your local library for old newspaper articles. Visit a neighborhood college. Contact the entomology, forestry, or agricultural-related departments. Your local national, state, county, and city parks departments. Park and Rec. Some county park departments even plan events around cicada emergencies. Yes, those are an actual thing. And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber, so if you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it in a future video. Number 2. Cockroaches. If you've ever had the misfortune of living in a lower income apartment building, or had extremely messy roommates, you might already be acquainted with the classic insect invader, the cockroach. The most common of all the bugs, but not any less of a nuisance. Dating back some 320 million years, this ancient pest is known for its resolve to survive, as well as being able to eat just about anything and survive in about any condition. Number 1. Sadia Tarantula Invasion that is the stuff of nightmares. In 2012, a cultural festival in Sadia, India was a nightmare when it had been swarmed by thousands of giant tarantula-like spiders. Researchers weren't able to ascertain exactly what species the spiders were, but they were big, poisonous, and caused a panic among festival goers. Numerous injuries were sustained by people frantically trying to get out of the way, and 2 people passed from spider bites. The arachnid invasion, as the Times of India called it, caused panic among festival goers who reportedly jostled each other around and tripped over benches in a hurry to flee the venomous spiders. Scientists from Dibrugarh University and Gautam University weren't able to identify the spiders, which resembled tarantulas but could also be a brand new species altogether. A professor of zoology at Cotton College within the city of Guwahati said that the spiders could be black wishbones, a species native to southern Australia. If that's the case, the spider's venom wouldn't be deadly but could, in some individuals, cause severe hypersensitivity that will end in death. The individuals who died after being bitten by the mysterious spiders were reportedly cremated before autopsies were performed, and scientists have yet to check the toxicity of the spider's venom. Strangely, however, there's some speculation that the attack was either an easy snake bite or a hoax. Multiple researchers cast doubt on whether the bites came from mysterious spiders or regular spiders or snakes. What truly happened remains unknown.